Okay, dudes. What happened last session?
Real quick, both of you to assume I walk upright.
Yeah, you just creep along like an earthworm, just sort of inch.
We got in a bar fight.
Yeah, we got in a bar fight.
That some of us thought might be like just a rowdy good time, and then someone started sneak attacking and chain lightning.
Yeah, we killed
we killed people.
We killed a vampire, I think, at the beginning of the session.
Yeah.
No, that was a couple of sessions ago.
Okay.
We killed a gnome pretending to be a human.
He got better. I did destroy his flesh suit, though.
Yeah.
I drew all the wet out of it.
We're in a town of racists, trying to have an audience with the king of the racists.
Right. And this is definitely the crew you want heading up a mission in the town of racists.
Yeah.
I'm on the lookout for a cleric of Jurgle or a hobbyist of Jurgle that I can pull rank on.
A hobbyist of Jurgle is just the pits.
Yeah, I mean he's not like fun to be around, but
no,
he might have a crypt for us to sit in if shit gets bad.
I just dab and jerk.
All right.
Out of my summer internship at Jurg. Oh god. And yeah, we were leaving the mess we made with there are a bunch of people there who just mass suggested to not be violent for the next, 23 hours and 50 minutes. So that's fun.
That's really gonna suck if some people just decide to fight them and they decide to be non-violent and got murdered.
It seems like a town where that's a thing.
Prior to coming here to Seaton, we also had some gunpowder shenanigans.
Right.
At Winston's, wherein our covert team of experts in stealth and
subterfuge,
reconnaissance and subterfuge. Yep, definitely didn't tell Winston exactly what was happening after scaring the actual shit out of him. And then, bouncing back and forth, doing lines of gunpowder. That was my favorite part.
Leaving Joshua there.
We actually left Joshua watching Scarin Wave Chaser, just watching him, not like with any other sort of mission or anything. And we made arrangements for the defense of Saltmarsh and the lighthouse. Then we ruined the gnomes. Actually
emotional
amazing
state?
disguise given how long it lasted. I just sort of imagine that it's the Clayton Bigsby, right? Isn't that the Dave Chappelle?
Yes.
Blind racist?
All right. Yeah.
That's sort of what I imagined. I think his name was Fleck the gnome. Was like, no, I'm totally a human. Are you?
I just got a small head. What? Something I want to put out as a note, because we didn't get to it. I was gonna do a thing before we left for Seaton last week, but we went right to Seaton. I would have spoken to the spark in the top of the lighthouse.
Yes, you did.
Told him like, hey, we're gonna leave. People might come for you. Protect the lighthouse. Kill anyone who tries to get you. And then I would have set Rage Fang to defend the lighthouse as well.
For whatever that's worth, you gave Rage Fang an order.
Yeah. I was gonna bring him with us here, but
the only other 2 bits of information that I think are useful are Joshua has the sending ring to let us know if Scarin Wave Chaser does anything truly nefarious. and we got, I think it was Edda, to either send ahead or write us a letter of introduction to the Duke.
Yes. Yes. So you are within the crowded streets of Seaton, and as we've discussed, though it is more populated here than Saltmarsh and more diversely populated, there is still a very visible, discriminatory segregation of individuals around there. Lucky is leading you all towards the far eastern quarter, where the majority of non-humans usually are capable of finding refuge. On your way, you see a number of guards of brilliant, in brilliant armors and livery, of all walks of life. You have the immediate sense that the kind of backwater slumminess of Saltmarsh, where a lot of straight out full-on crime can just kind of be gotten away with in general, that will not be the case in Seaton. Even as such, with the tremendous amount of ruckus that you guys caused at the Fog and Frog, there is absolutely people, civilians and others, military, perhaps even Marines, headed out in the direction, the way you've come, to try to figure out what happened. Either way, you all can find your way several blocks away into the dense and rather filthy quarter of the city. There are still many guards here, but they stand out significantly amongst the half-orc, elven, dwarven population that is the majority of the people here. You have some time. You have the opportunity to essentially go right to the Duke, but even though Edda likely cast sending, there is kind of it would be a little presumptuous to just immediately show up at the keep with the intention of speaking to the Duke immediately. So, is there any business you would like to? I'm so sorry. That you would like to participate in while you are in a busy city.
I don't know. It feels ill-advised for anybody to go off on their own and start an incident.
But you don't have to go out on your own.
Yeah, it super does. I take a few steps away from
Carl gets some distance.
Well, I think it's like we're making our way, if I catch it, is there I don't know, do I see like a burly kind of orc, or half orc, I mean, I know they're they can be burly, but
sure, with time you can find some big dude.
Yeah, just looking as we're making our way, just finding some orc dude. I'll just kind of
just want to speak Orcish, huh?
Yeah, I just want to speak Orcish. Yeah, you yeah. Hey, you know me.
Yeah. That's got some strong Krellic energy.
Yeah, I'll just take a few steps towards them and speak Orcish. Give them a little Loktar. Loktar. And I'll ask him in Orcish. Is it always all these guards everywhere?
Yeah, of course there is. This is the capital, after all.
Yeah. Hey, we's new in town, me and me mates. People here can't seem like dicks.
Yeah, got that right.
Yeah.
He pulls a knife on you.
That's funny. You got anything bigger?
He snarls.
I just look at the knife and look at him and be like, what is it that you was planning on doing with that?
All right, he goes to stab you.
Okay.
I have an 18 to hit.
Does not hit. Plinks into my carapace, my shadow. I just look down at him and just go, come on, mate. You serious right now?
He lets this go.
I look at him and just go, I mean, what was your plan? Well, I just told you I'm here with my mates. Like, these right there. Look, them two is looking at me right now.
He says nothing and looks rather ashamed.
Yeah. Hey, what's your name?
Betty waddles over.
Burvis.
Boris. You got Moxie, okay? You got Spirit. I like that. You know. Okay, my name's Krellick. Krellick the Red. You ever heard of me?
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, you ain't never heard of me.
I'm new in town.
Oh, well, I'm new in town.
Okay.
I mean, you got a place to stay?
Yeah. And he points down the ways a bit towards what looks like what are they called? Like an alley of taverns, basically.
They got a good drink there.
No.
All right, just the way I like it. Hey, if I see you there later, all right, buy me a drink. We call it even.
He walks off.
Look down at Betty. These people, you know, and show them a little bit of respect. Betty, you speak Orcish.
Fuck.
Yeah. I'll rejoin the others and I guess I'll say, hey, I found us a place to stay if we need one.
We can secure lodgings. If we don't want to stay in the city, I do know a place a few hours away, although we might need to hire a carriage or something.
Well, if we ain't got no leads, I got one.
Excellent. Well, Lucky, you said you know other places here.
Yeah. And she points down the same way that Burvis had pointed. While you are all on the street, you hear the sounds of fireworks being lit and taking into the air. And down the ways some, there is a spectacular spectacle of very practical magic, illusions that are set to enhance the brightness of fireworks against the daytime sky, illustrations being painted to the tune of music being played by a what's it called, hurdy-gurdy on the ground. You see a woman who is wearing a broad-brimmed pointed hat and long robes, sitting on a broom, circling a crowd of people and performing some magic show for them on the street. You can hear the crowd seems very interested in what she is doing, although some people kind of give her second glances and then walk away. And then You see one individual walking amongst the crowd and in sort of milling through, their face partially obscured and just apparently swiping things off of crowd members, audience members, and then ducking away into an alley shortly after.
Like, seems like this place ain't that much different than Saltmore.
Do we have a lot of pickpockets in Saltmarsh? I mean,
Well, you've never been pickpocketed.
Are you sure you got your wallet on you?
Yes.
Is this your wallet?
That is not my wallet.
It's my wallet. I'll just...
Krennic, did you forget whose wallet that was again?
No, I'm just trying to play a joke on Cecil. He's too smart.
Okay, so great joke, Krellick. What do we want to do to spend our time?
You're lodging first, and we can figure out what we're doing. But that way we know we have a place to go clean up. Since I don't imagine that we will stay clean long in such a crowded city, we can also stay in, as long as we keep an eye on our purses. This is not something we've seen in Saltmarsh before. Lodging first. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, then like food and like drink and yeah.
Lucky takes you to a place called the Tall Tales Tavern, which has a very lovely sign that has been beaten to hell by age. A golden fishtail that swings in the wind, and inside there is not that many people, actually. But you guys can secure lodgings, say 2 to a room. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
All right, and a gold per room, which while you guys may be wealthy, is exorbitant prices.
Yeah.
And this place does not look like it puts that money to use.
Whoever is taking our money. What's going on with the fireworks during the day? Is there some sort of festival or something?
Oh no, that's Mavis. Conjurer or something. She has her own magic shop a couple blocks away. Mavis the Marvelous, something like that.
Magic shop.
Is she?
Marvelous?
Yeah.
She's fine. Tip's fine.
Oh, she's a local.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's been around for a while. She used to adventure in the Dreadwood or something.
Oh.
Yeah, says that's where she gets a lot of her wares.
Ain't we been to the Dreadwood?
Several times.
Ooh, maybe she's killed like a hag.
Right.
Hey, I'll take 3 of your worst ales.
Weird request. She charges you 2 silver
Cool, I'll pay it.
for liquor that
He's
smells like
going
piss.
To make them smell and taste like ham, anyway.
To say ham, that is a great idea. I did not think of that.
You're welcome.
Who is this that we're talking to?
Just the barkeep.
Okay.
A beverage that tastes like ham is one of the worst ideas I've ever heard. Thank you, Rat King Cody.
I think that's Rat Emperor now, by the way, from what I can see.
No, as we've established, that's the title he's given himself, and if we acknowledge his power, then his his reach grows.
Yeah, I'll flavor up some. I wasn't gonna flavor them, but I am now. I'll flavor up some of the drinks, and these are mine. So I just started drinking my
some ham mead.
Yeah,
Good. You enjoying your sausage seltzer?
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I like the way it like fizzes a little bit with the seltzer.
But like the body of this drink tastes like the ham, and then the like foam is what, like pork rind?
God.
No!
Wow.
You should try this one though. It's scrapple and peanut butter and jelly.
Be right back. I have to go report to Geneva about these war crimes.
Somebody's gotta tell the hog.
Okay, what are you doing? You whiling away some hours? You going out? What are you doing?
Yop would like to go check out Mavis the Marvelous's magic shop.
Yeah, I think we should definitely.
Yeah,
All right.
this will go well.
Wasn't that? Yeah, I think we're all into that. Wasn't she performing though? Was that her? Isn't that what he was indicating?
Well, I mean, you can all.
Yeah, I mean, the impression I got was that, like, the fireworks and everything were essentially, right, the equivalent of the inflatable dude in front of the shop. Like, just trying to get people in.
Yes. And that becomes apparent when you follow the sounds of the applause and cheering and the soft sounds of controlled explosives. When you arrive, there's a flurry of color and light and gunpowder smoke as the finale and conclusion of this display kind of comes to an end, and then on her little broom she sort of clicks her heels. This little witch carries herself into a from the outside rather boring little house that has been decorated to really sell the whole artificer, enchanter, with banners along the outsides, painted signs and such, and the interior is heavily crowded with objects of all kinds. You guys have been to Waterdeep and seen all sorts of shops. This place would slot right in, but it's very clear very immediately that her wares seem to be surprisingly inexpensive, and there's not everything seems to more or less be one of a kind, not necessarily too many ones that look very similar or cloaks that seem to be made of the same fashions, almost like a pawn shop. She welcomes new guests personally, and when you all enter, she says, "Good afternoon, travelers. I don't recognize your faces. You might be new in town."
This seems wholly unnecessary, but before we walk in, Sash will cast Detect Magic.
Oh, I'm casting something like immediately, which is this. Because I hear Dreadwood, and I'm immediately like, okay, well.
Okay, so, two things. Detect Magic. You are nearly instantly blinded.
Okay.
The overlapping auras.
A little bit surprising.
The overlapping auras is intense, although given time, and again, it takes a whole action to be able to refocus. Some of the auras are maybe not what you expected. And then for Null, your eyes of the grave do actually detect something.
Mm-hmm.
The broom she's sitting on appears to be undead.
Interesting. Okay.
Mavis tips her hat to all of you and says, "My name is Mavis, and it's good to make your acquaintance. What brings you into Seaton?" Okay.
Business with some of the gentry here. We saw your firework display, and the keep over at the Tall Tales said that you get your materials from the Dreadwood. Is that accurate, or?
Oh, well, part of that's rumor, but every rumor has a bit of truth to it. I've spent many years traveling through the Dreadwood, to varying degrees of success. And she holds up one of her hands and wiggles her fingers, and you see that one of her pinkies is made of wood.
Wicked.
Have you been there recently?
I travel there from time to time, check in on some old friends and some old caches and hideaways. It's not all bad out there. I'm not the only one who travels out there, and sometimes, interesting people leave interesting items.
Might I ask what your broom is made of?
Oh, swish. She murmurs to herself and then hops off of the broom, and the broom almost floats upright into the vertical. And she says, "I found Swish in an old hag's lair."
Is it alive?
Well, pretty intelligent anyway. The broom kind of bobs as if it is nodding.
Was it really not Shade's, head place?
From what I'm understanding of what you just tried to ask me, no.
Oh, we've been there, so I thought maybe you was there.
Oh no, I wouldn't be so stupid as to enter Castle Spiral, especially by myself.
I mean, you probably couldn't now. You know, I think everything is dead in there now.
No way. Really?
It might be like a skeleton or something.
Or an enormous house on legs.
Two different places, Null. One in the Dreadwood. And regardless, Castle Spiral is still, I'm sure, populated by some of Nightshade's associates, even with her departure. But perhaps you have a list of what you have here? This is quite the shop. A lot of things are not what one would expect.
Yes, some very unusual items. Were these all just harvested from the Dreadwood, or are you responsible for crafting some of these on your own?
Oh, I make some things here and there. I've spent a lot of time with artifacts and have a pretty good eye for what makes them valuable. And enchantments, while not easy, with time you can figure them out. Spending enough time undoing something, you figure out how to put it back together.
Oh yes, I'm well aware. I've crafted quite a few items myself. So what is it that you have around here? I'd love to see some of your handiwork. One craftsman to another.
She takes you around and shows off some personal wares, a lot of things that seem to be items of household convenience, such as utensils that clean themselves, automatic feather dusters.
Utensils.
Automatic feather dusters, pillows that restuff themselves, blankets that stay warm, and then blankets that stay cool.
Yeah, well, these are quite ingenious, and I imagine quite handy for the average home. How expensive are these?
Well, these, and she puts her hands to the blankets. She says, run about 10 gold apiece. The craftsmanship on some of them, I'm no seamstress. And she pulls out a very fine one, anywhere from 10 to 20 gold. Some of these, and she puts her hand to the utensils, 5 gold. And she kind of just lists off some prices. Nothing more than 30 gold for essentially a household appliance. A self-washing washboard and shit like that, a lot of animated objects, it would appear.
Are we able to grab them, or are they behind something?
They're all on display, but you know when you touch them, you are being watched.
I'd like to be. I would like to making a pile of things I want in my arms, right? Hello, blanket.
It's well established. Krellick's got a thing for a high thread count.
He's an interior decorator, remember? Right.
Remember that story?
Remember that arc? She also has a list of rare magic items. She doesn't carry many, in the way of... She carries... most common items are here. Nothing really actually in the vein of uncommon or rare, but she has a number of very rare magic items. Basically, if you are interested, if there's a magic item you might be considering, you can ask if it is in stock. I'll roll a percentile die based on what I value it as, and there's a chance that she might have it. Might even have it in spades.
Did you... Okay, well, I guess I'll ask her. I don't want to ask you directly, I guess.
I love this, because this means I'm going to have to puzzle out what you said in Krellick language.
Okay, I'll just say, all this stuff is, great, you got all things, super weird, totally unique.
Totally unique. Well, how much money do you have?
Tons, a lot.
Uh-huh. Well, my most valuable item in stock is Swish, but Swish is not easily stolen, and finds her way back to me pretty easily. We have some interesting staffs left behind by... She shrugs. Found in the Dreadwood.
Oh, I'll have a staff. I hold out the staff that the gnome had.
Out of curiosity, does that show up as magic to me?
Just as a common staff would. Yeah.
This is a staff of great power, wielded by a terrible wizard.
Uh-huh. She knows it very clearly. She can recognize this item.
Yeah, shoots like lightning.
Uh-huh.
I'll trade you.
Trade? No, I'll buy that from you.
How much?
She seems to think, and she says, well, it's got a lot of damage to it. Looks like little claw marks right here. And this crystal isn't in as fine a shape as it's supposed to be. Look, you can see some imperfections in the interior. Oh, and it's really rough on the outside. I can give you 3 gold for this.
3 whole gold?
3 whole gold.
Done.
She hands you 3 gold.
Do you have any rings in stock here in your shop?
Sure. And she brings you to a counter with amulets and such inside. You have something in mind?
Oh, well. I mean, I absolutely have something in mind, but I'm going to play it coy. So as not to tip her off that I'm desperately in search for a ring of mind shielding.
Gotcha. Okay.
No, I don't know. Let's just see what you have here. Oh, this is very pretty. This is very nice. Mind shielding.
You do see a ring that is square in its shape, that has what looks like teeny tiny screws holding a copper plate onto its surface, and a little stamp pressed into the copper. And she says, "Oh, that's keen eye you have."
Well, as I mentioned, I'm a bit of a magic craftsman myself. What more can you tell me about this here?
Well, you say you've been to the Dreadwood, right?
Oh, yes.
Well, there are creatures out there. Creatures not of this plane. From the in-between spaces. With long tentacles on their face. And dark eyes. And they don't speak. But they take and prey upon creatures of the material plane. I was lucky enough to find one's corpse. And that's where I found this. 700 gold.
Might I, take a little time to examine it, just one craftsman to another?
If you're looking for authenticity, I can assure you I only sell the most functional of materials. I am no charlatan. I am well established here.
Oh, well, I'm sure you are, but, you haven't been able to tell me much about what it does, and so I would like to use my professional skills to see if I can discern that.
As I've been able to determine, and she kind of, and she smiles at you, it prevents divination from intruding on your own psyche, your own thoughts.
Well, I will most certainly keep this in mind and hope that you still have it in stock when I've saved enough gold up for a purchase.
She grins and nods.
How much do you require?
Yeah.
Yop just says, "Oh no, it's too much. Require too much. We will let's conduct some business and see if we can't see if that business doesn't bear some fruit, and then we can consider a purchase, or I can consider a purchase."
Right.
And how about these? And he's holding up the wand.
100 gold.
For this?
350.
Oh. Well, I was going to buy it before, but if you hate sales, then I guess I can be on my way.
I don't know if you're trying to play coy, but one of these things is a planet-stopping object.
Sorry, no, I thought she increased the price on the wand when I said that's it, and I was like, oh, I'm not paying that fucking much for it.
Oh, I thought you said and this, and you were talking about your other object.
Nope, just that one.
Oh, okay, okay. My apologies. I didn't hear you through your accent.
Yep, nope. We can all agree that.
Yeah, no. 100. She nods. It is a common item, so.
Easy. And he will hand over 100 gold.
Okay. And she grins at you.
Avy, what's your planet?
Oh, that is over there. It is a rod that will not move. Did you want to get it?
What's it do?
Literally nothing. That it sits and it stays.
Well, I can do that for free.
Mavis goes over and picks up the rod, uncaps the end of it, and presses the button, and it holds in place. In midair, she takes her hand away and she says, "Try to move it."
I try to move it.
Okay, make a strength check.
I will do so.
I really want this to succeed.
Flat strength check.
That is correct.
Okay.
Oh, can I say good luck and give him no?
Krellick's got a hernia now. Fantastic.
Yeah, again. The idea of a turtle herniating is grim.
That's hateful.
There's something wrong with this.
That sounds like it's doing exactly what it's advertised to do, so...
I told you.
What would you even use this for anyway?
Lucky goes over and she grabs it. Mavis shows her how to activate it. She presses the button, and she goes over to you, Krellick, and bends down next to you, and sets it over your foot, and pushes down a little bit, and then presses the button.
Hell! I try to move.
Make another strength check.
That's 17.
Yeah, no, you can't. You are stuck. You're pinned to the floor.
Okay, what's you playing there?
Eddie, will you go get that thing off of Krellick's foot, please?
Could Betty make a strength check for me?
Oh, yeah, I wanted her to do it.
Yeah.
She's flapping her wings pitifully and uselessly against this staff. Mavis goes and releases the button, and you are freed.
Oh,
Fascinating trick. I can think of a few things. How much did you say that was?
400 gold.
Do you have a blanket that imparts both cold and dry?
Well, we live seaside, so most of the household items have a light effect on keeping themselves dry, just to prevent rot.
Does the dryness extend to whatever is inside of the blanket?
I don't think I can guarantee that.
I will take one.
Do you take a boring looking one?
Yeah, I look for the one that's like the most like kind of probably like cobweb eaten up,
Oh,
like one of the
Christ.
older ones.
Sure, 10 gold.
Yeah. Just carefully like folded up.
It is winter time currently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cold and dry. We're good.
Yeah.
If I get some things, can Betty carry them?
Yeah, well, certainly.
Okay. Miss Marvelous, I'll take 2 pillows, 2 blankets, some of that silverwares. I guess that's it for now.
She totals you out for 70 gold.
What a steal. I mean, you know, with the 3 gold I got over you, this is like a great deal.
Any other minor wonders you'd like to take from the Emporium?
No, top of my head.
Thanks for the heads up about the Dreadwood, too. I should plan another expedition out there soon. Once things have cooled off a little bit, maybe.
Do be careful. Nightshade may be gone, but she certainly had plenty of other hag covens there, and her bodyguard are still largely unaccounted for, so...
Oh, sure. I just don't want to get there after Kelladek's probably been through.
You know Kelladek, or simply know of him?
We've known each other.
Yeah, you can't be put to sleep by magic.
We've,
Okay, you do not follow.
we have a professional rivalry.
Okay.
Oh.
One thing.
Do you know Tally?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I know her too.
I figured since you said you said Tally. Her name is Talawick?
Yeah, she was like my mentor for a little while.
Oh. Did she teach you anything?
She taught me this. I'll summon the Crushing Claw.
She nods respectfully. Good for him, good for him.
Yeah, it's pretty good. He's pretty strong, too. Hey, you know Mesa?
Who?
There's like a little dragon person. They's in the Dreadwood.
Are you speaking of kobolds?
I don't.
Yes.
Oh, we. Yeah.
Well, we've serviced some kobolds in this shop before.
Was they Mesa?
I couldn't tell you. They had little medallions. Some of them dressed in. Well, they would stack one on top of another, and wore like a really big coat. Had little puppet arms. It was kind of an interesting contraption.
Interesting.
Yeah, them don't sound like them. They's like warriors.
She kind of shrugs.
Well,
Might have been.
If you see them out there in the Dreadwood, tell them that, Kralik and everyone says hi.
Okay. I mean, I don't know every kobold that comes through here, but admittedly, we don't have that many. Anything else in this shop? Okay. Any other business you'd like to go about in town? Getting food, I heard mention of.
Yeah, I would think we would want to make sure we have eaten, we have gotten cleaned up. I guess getting the question is, how long do we want to wait before we try to go see the Duke? Go tomorrow? How late is it here in Seaton?
I feel like it's not very long into the day, maybe early afternoon. But you guys have teleported here.
Yeah.
A feat most people are not capable of.
So, do we want to wait for tomorrow? Because I think that's when Edda said she would be able to get us the audience.
Yeah, I would like to wait for tomorrow at the earliest. I'd like to do some poking around town, which presumably you can probably get done tomorrow before or after meeting with the Duke. So that would be fine.
Mm-hmm. What sort of poking would you like to do, Adam?
Well, I would like to spend the rest of this afternoon in the friendlier quarter, this eastern section of the city, and just talking with people to find out the bars and locations which would be the least friendly for any of us to sort of attend. And then tomorrow, I would like to go to those places with the help of Disguise Self and do some poking around, particularly to see if I can find anybody that knows any of the names on my known Scarlet Brotherhood people list. And presuming I find some of those people, if I'm lucky enough to find some of those people, then I might start asking some questions about Scaran Wavechaser, or what to do now that black powder's been discovered in Saltmarsh, and just see if I can't stir up some shit and get some people talking.
Okay. Do you share this with people, and will others be joining you?
Oh yeah, I mean, at night, like, I'll share my plan with people. The other thing that I want to do, that I need to do, I guess, tomorrow morning, is I want 10 minutes with everything that was bought from that magic shop. Right, because after the Zendris experience, Yop doesn't trust anybody or any of this shit.
Fair enough.
What's the likelihood of that happening twice?
Only one way to find out.
That is a really brilliant idea. The rest of us who cannot, well, anyone who can, if somebody can disguise themselves to go with you, and Zashel is pointedly looking at Vakaris at this point, none of us should probably... I'm sorry, what?
That do not underestimate. No, he can also change his appearance.
I can indeed. For an hour.
To know.
We can have a small group.
Yes. I don't think any of us should be wandering around alone. We know that the Brotherhood is making a move on this place. We can be sure that they have agents or sympathizers at least in town. If they have been informed of us and who we are, and we do seem to be the only ones really putting up any sort of struggle against their efforts, so none of us should be going off alone. The rest of us who cannot disguise ourselves, we should definitely try to see what we can find, perhaps at the docks or wherever, that might... Basically, the more concrete information we have of what's going on here in Seaton, the more that we can explicitly tell the Duke when we do meet him, and sort of prove our case.
You. I was real good at investigation.
Who are? It sounds like you guys kind of have to split up. So how are we splitting up?
It sounds like at the very least, Vicaris and Yop are going to head into the city, and it's up to Noel whether or not he wants to join us or he wants to hang with Zashel and Krellick.
Where do I think I'm being more needed? We need a second spotter on Krellick. I'm going with them.
Well, Lucky will also be over there because she can't disguise herself.
Okay, then 3 and 3 is good. I can disguise myself for an hour, so for an hour I will take human form.
Oh, do you have a specific person that you disguise as?
No. It probably just looks like a vaguely similar to Noel, but just dressed like what Noel would imagine, like, I don't know, a dock worker or something dresses like. Like, still way very big, probably, because I can't actually modify my size that much.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can do like 3 feet as a Firbolg.
The Firbolg's special disguise self lets them drop like 3 feet.
Oh.
You can look like a normal human.
Yeah, I'll be like 5'6".
5'6".
Yeah.
Normal human.
A normal human height, right at the midline. Eminently forgettable.
Even gnome's human disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah. The torso probably is just like, what do I got recently? Yeah, that'll work.
Krellick takes great pride that he is taller than Noel.
Okay. Okay, so the party splits up. We're gonna start with Yop and Vicaris and Noel.
Before we split up, can we get a bond? Telepathic bond.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know it only lasts so long, but still.
I mean, it's an hour, so.
Yeah.
We can just hand wave this, but anything unusual about any of the magic items?
Nope.
Okay.
None of the ones that you all purchased.
Okay. Oh boy, fantastic.
Okay, wait, just to clarify, is this planned for tomorrow? This is for tomorrow morning, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we're fast forwarding to tomorrow morning or
Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't seem particularly well. So I'm gonna have you do your investigating now.
Yep.
Yeah, so that you can act on that later.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I only asked because I had left myself a note that says, "Note to self: short rest when you can." So I wasn't sure if we had gotten a rest.
I was still a little.
I was going to suggest that we do that before we do our recon. That's the only reason I asked.
Yeah.
Okay, you all can spend some time in your room, resting for a bit, get a short rest in, and then split up because you guys have so much of the day to begin investigating. Okay. All right. So that's what you'll do.
All right. I'll drink that.
So I want to be sure I understand you, Adam.
Yes.
You want to see what you can learn about some of the locations and spots where the Brotherhood have been,
Right.
and seed rumors.
Right. Well, right. The end goal, right, is to find out whatever information I can about the Scarlet Brotherhood, what they're doing in town. I doubt I'd be able to get this far, but if I can get any information about what their plans are for Saltmarsh. We know Wave Chaser. We know there's gunpowder in some of these places around town. We know that they have we know that they've killed Anders Solmner, right? And probably killed his mother too, right? A long time ago. So all information that I can use to try and further, convince people that we are in fact involved with the Brotherhood and are looking to help out with the Saltmarsh plan. And the manner in which I plan on doing that is I have this list of names, right? So the first that I know are Scarlet Brotherhood people. So the first step is, are any of these people in town? We learned in Saltmarsh that most of the Scarlet Brotherhood people weren't in Saltmarsh. They were in Seaton. So are any of the people that are on this list that we haven't identified, are they in town? And if they are, can I either sidle up to them or people that know them or people that are close to them, and then use some of the knowledge, leverage some of the knowledge we have to get more information out of these people about what the plan is. So that's the overall sort of goal and way I'd go about it.
Okay. I would like you to first make me an investigation check.
Okay.
I can assist with this.
I'll say this is the next day, right?
No.
Oh, never mind. Well, actually, I got all my.
This is after a short rest. Huh?
Yeah, I got all my inspiration back, so you can go ahead and have inspiration. Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
Fire.
Not that you'll need it.
You have been given some information from the Rat King and Joshua, and you have this list that you've had forever. You can find some public spaces where the Brotherhood are known to gather, and you find that one of them is owned by a member on your list. And it's been so long since I've seen your list.
It's in lore mongering.
Well, now I've got to find out. Oh, it's in tools. That's where they are.
I can just paste it all in chat if that makes your life easier.
Nope, I got it open.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember this name. Yeah, Wolfgang Marr is the owner of one such hideout. Oh my god. Wow, good dice. Wolfgang Marr owns a sweaty little place that seems to be tucked away, like within like the center of one of the city blocks, and is not very frequently witnessed by the guards, the city guards. And in your disguise, you can certainly find your way in. There's certainly some surprise when unknown faces enter. But you have enough name-dropping utility here to get people off of your back. And the gentleman known as Wolfgang, a bald gentleman with mutton chops, and kind of a broad stature, says, "And you come from Saltmarsh, yeah?"
Yes, we do.
And who sent you out here before?
Well, Mr. Wave Chaser sends his regards.
God damn.
All right. Well, what sort of business are you hoping to help out with around here?
Well, it's come to Mr. Wave Chaser's attention that the black powder situation in Saltmarsh may have been discovered, and the authorities may be onto it. Thought maybe the people down here should know. Maybe I should pass that information along.
Yeah, you're smart. Smart, yeah. We can get that around. Fortunately, I think we're nearly stocked to the point where, to our capacity, nothing here, but all of the drop points are almost all excavated.
I'm not
prepared.
Not for nothing, Wolfgang, but I'm here on orders from Mr. Wave Chaser, so if you don't mind, I'd like to check those locations out myself, please.
Please make me a deception check.
And thanks to my mutagen, I've got advantage on this, and which I will need. And I don't know how long does that inspiration last, because I'll need that too.
10 minutes.
Good boy.
10 minutes, but if it had lapsed like right before we came in, I would have given it to you again.
Okay, you can have done that. Just using another resource.
Well, I'll use one of my points of inspiration to re-roll that, because that was a mess. But I think this is just normal at this point. Fantastic.
Oh God.
You know what? Screw it. What's that bardic
D10.
inspiration die at this point? A D10?
Yep. Hey.
Yeah, that's helpful. Should have kept that 9.
Well, you get your highest roll out of your 3 dice.
Oh, all right, fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'll go with the 17.
Okay.
Doesn't for College of Creation, don't you roll ability check when you spend the inspiration?
Oh my God, you're right.
Ability
Yeah.
check, you roll twice and take the better.
Right. You get advantage.
Yes,
Fantastic.
What a disturbingly sick, twist on the bard.
Nice.
All right.
Well,
Do you want to flash a genius that by chance, Adam?
Oh, that's a great idea. Why don't I do that?
oh, good idea.
From 9 to 25.
I love the way you said that was like you were slipping him a card across the table. Maybe get a look at that.
And that's actually because I haven't had my that mutagen. That's only a 24.
Oh. Only from a 9.
Yeah.
Okay. He seems somewhat concerned by this, but he says, "Okay, but don't all leave at once." And he whistles for someone to come over to him. Boris, why don't you go show him drop point D? And Boris nods, and all of you exit, paced somewhat, and you were brought to one of the points on the wall, not on the wall, but at the wall, at the base of the wall, that is very close to the docks, and from across the street, the 4 of you gather, and Boris points vaguely towards the guardhouse, which it's approximately here-ish. It's clearly the guardhouse at the dock, but you know that there would be more along the wharf. This is just the one at the wall. And he says, we got someone out there who's going to be digging a hole where we're going to be placing the barrels, and then come the appropriate time, someone's going to be lighting the fuse.
And we're convinced that our people haven't been compromised.
Well, even if they have been, there's plenty of others, and I mean, you don't see extra guards out there, do you?
No, which is good. You buried the black powder already?
Not yet. He kind of scratches his head and he says, "Not everyone knows everything, but couple of the other places out here where we're storing them nearby. Make the transportation quick.
Do you think they need any help with digging?
I don't know. I think whoever's going to be transporting's probably got that covered.
Well, I happen to be a fairly good excavator myself, and I think I would love to help.
Yeah, well, take that up with someone else. That's not my call.
Oh, sure. What was the name of the person I should take that up with?
I don't know. Maybe Vaughn.
Vaughn. Thank you very much.
Well, listen, based on the fact that the storage locations have been compromised in Saltmarsh, maybe you could take me around to the storage locations for the black powder that's already here. Make sure they haven't been compromised as well.
Make me a persuasion check.
Right.
Do you have advantage because it's a charisma check?
I do. Sorry.
You're fine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'll add 5 to that as well. Just burn these things.
Okay. He thinks about it and says, yeah, okay, all right, fine. And then begins walking you through town again to a little bookshop, actually, where he introduces you to a fellow named Vaughn. There's a small exchange between the two of them in Thieves' Cant, and then Vaughn addresses you all and says, "And yes, what is it I can help you with?"
Yeah, well,
You're just the person I was looking for. I worked in excavation in the past, and I was told to ask you if you need any help with digging.
I suppose we could use an extra hand or two, but this isn't for some time, a couple of weeks.
Oh, well, I'm typically the one who actually is in charge, so I'd love to scout the area first so I can plan specifically where to dig and what would be the best way.
Roll a goddamn deception check.
Absolutely.
Remember when this character wasn't gonna lie?
He is talking about... Okay, the second part of it was, absolutely.
Yeah.
19. I was going with the I'm good at digging because I have a spell for it, but I was in charge and a supervisor. Yeah, no, that was full.
Yeah. He waves his hand and he says, "We don't want to convolute anything too deeply around here, but I suppose I wouldn't mind having it out of my hands."
Also, always good to have the assurance of having it explode around, don't you think?
I suppose. Well, if that is all, then
actually,
please
Vaughn,
put down your name, and we'll be sure to have someone, and where you will be staying, of course, in 2 weeks' time, we'll have someone contact you.
Actually, Vaughn, that's not all. As Wolfgang here may have mentioned, because of some situations in Saltmarsh, we have some additional concerns over the storage of the black powder. If you could let me get a look at it, make sure that it's being stored properly and hasn't been tampered with at all, that would be fantastic.
He seems a little fidgety. Please make me a deception check. I'm gonna have him contest you.
Hey, all right. If you want me to report back to Mr. Wavechaser that you're not interested in volunteering information to him, that's your business. Let me click the advantage thing here. And I will flash a genius at.
He goes over and locks the front door, closes some of the curtains, and flips the sign, and then takes you into his back room, where he takes you up a flight of stairs to a small attic, where he, with a trapdoor, with a lock that he opens, and then.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Can I fit through this trapdoor? Or when I see this thing, am I going to know?
I'm gonna gamble on you have shifting confidence in being able to fit through that.
Hey, I'll point at Vicaris. Hey, Hugh. You get over here. Get up that ladder. Check everything out.
Oh, sure, of course. always good to have an expert, yeah?
He produces a key, opens the hatch, and shows you several small kegs of black powder, and then some empty larger barrels, as if this has been kind of distributed.
How many small and how many empty?
Oh my god.
My bad.
That would require me to be able to do math to split up a large barrel into smaller barrels for you. Fuck you. Absolutely not.
Okay, fine. I was kind of just looking for
how many smalls are large?
Sarah. That doesn't exactly meet the yield that it would typically just be like 12.
Well, I there was a part of me that was like, oh, I can just shoot out a number, that's fine. But then you were like, how many small and how many large? And I was like, that's a math problem you've asked me, and I'm not answering that question.
Let's go for the first one. How many in general, which is 10?
A significant amount. This seems to be since this is a storage location, this seems to be housing more than what one location would be requiring. That and black powder, it is an explosive when made into an explosive, but it would still require quite a bit if this is the only component being used as an explosive. This is not like the drow grenades and mortars that you guys have bought in Waterdeep before. This is not like that. This is just raw black powder as far as you are able to determine right now.
It looks like everything's on the up and up. Thanks for this.
Thanks for this.
I will be sure to pass your generosity on to the Mr. Wave Chaser. And then I'll look down to the others. Looks good all up here. Anything else?
No, that's great. If Mr. Mann signs off on it, then it's good with me.
Okay. Is that all that you guys needed?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I will attempt to repeat that process just to find whatever locations they're either storing black powder or places they're planning on using black powder.
Okay. I'm going to ask for then one more higher DC'd deception check.
Okay.
To kind of carry over through the next several locations.
Gotcha.
Oh,
damn, nice.
If it's over the next couple, can I give him inspiration? Bardic inspiration specifically.
Yes, since I'm only doing one check, you can.
Okay.
I'll add a flash of genius to that too.
For a 29?
Yep.
Okay. Your DC was 25. Because even though most of these folks are they're just dudes, they don't have magic powers that can detect when you're lying and shit. These are people who have been running an unknown underground gang for
Right,
years.
And some group of 3 dudes just showed up saying, "Show us where everything is."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There is the concern as you are doing this, however, like you have a pretty good cover. You've expressed explicitly that you are here under orders of Scarron. There's a chance that might have to be verified in the coming days. So there is that to think about. But nevertheless, none of you are discovered. Plus, all of your guys' like DCs for disguises is substantially high. Like no one's going to be like investigating you for illusion by nature. So and no passive would be high enough. So yeah, you have a couple of bullet point places around town. What you more or less see is that there is deliberate intention to attack guard houses, and you are told, but you are not shown the specific locations of some of the marked designations for places within the keep. Presumably the manor house where the Duke lives, though that is never stated to you. One other such location, like there's a couple places on the docks, clearly to limit like people potentially throwing out and leaving as pirates come in. There is the Marines barracks, that's the word. The Marines barracks that it would appear there is deliberate intention to absolutely destroy.
Okay.
Anything else?
Not for me.
Okay.
Sorry,
Then that.
For the location of the dig site, have we been there? Did they just tell us?
Sorry, one more time.
The location of the dig site. Do we just know the location, or was this part of our like rounds that we were just doing to look at everything?
Your volunteering for the specific site is one specific guardhouse, and some places were pointed out to you, but not all.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. We're going to take our 10-minute break and be back at 1:45, and then have you guys, I think, meet up for that evening. You can determine, we can determine if the other half of the party is going to do their stuff that night or the next morning.
Cool beans.
Okay.
The fun mob voice, Adam.
Good. God damn.
I'm most pleased. I don't know that anybody caught it, but I gave Vicaris' disguise a name.
Yep.
I like that it was Hugh, which is also like, hey, you.
Right.
He-Man is a great disguise.
Yeah.
It's a great alias.
My alias was gonna be Sicker. Spelled S-I-C-K.
I have added a new spell to my spell bucket list for this game.
Excellent.
Alongside Freedom of Movement. I've picked up Glyph of Warding. And I'm just gonna leave Glyph of Warding on the table as something we could do.
I mean, you would be the one to do it, so.
I know, but it's like, where could we have an explosive rune?
Well, it depends. Does Noel care about collateral damage? Because really, it sounds
No.
like anywhere.
No,
Yeah, it really kind of sounds like anywhere.
not particularly. I'd prefer to do it in the racist part of town. Like, everybody else here seems kind of hard out. Don't really want to blow them up. I also don't know to what degree Glyph of Warding even does like property damage, or because it does say just to creatures. So
Yeah, you'd have to look at its specific applications and what else you can, do with it. But
because the explosive part just deals damage to like all of the creatures in an area.
What's the damage type?
It could be acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder.
Glyph of Warding with some nice fire damage on that large barrel of black powder.
That's what I was considering, right? But I don't know, like, it specifically, it specifically says like it damages the creatures, but I don't know, that's like Fireball doesn't necessarily say like, does Fireball say it ignites all the surfaces in the area?
I'm pretty sure it does, yeah.
I think it might. I think that one specifically.
Yeah, 'cause
might say that.
I'm wondering if the Glyph of Warding, like, it just isn't designed to like actually be able to ignite anything. So it might not even do anything to the powder. It might just catch whoever opens it on fire.
All right, I guess we're going to set a bookstore on fire then. Fantastic.
Here's the wording of it. Long as hell. Many description, but really explosive is what is the most important part.
Yeah, erupts in magical energies. Yeah, it's interesting because it definitely only says creature when it's referring to things.
Yep.
Yeah, very interesting.
It's an EMP, but for people.
Yeah, but you'd have to. I don't know. It stands to reason that a fiery explosion 20 feet in radius, like
one would think.
Yeah,
But its language is weirdly specific in a way that makes me think like they accounted for this.
Yeah, it's the same way that like it like a Ray of Frost only targets creatures, where Firebolt targets objects as well.
Yep.
Which is like, come on, the fuck.
I guess we could like go across the street and just huck a firebolt into some Molotov into the window.
Yeah, I mean, like they really did think ahead, because it's not like a bookstore is going to be all that flammable.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
I
like
mean,
paper.
true.
Yeah.
You could just break a window and throw like a bottle of fire in there. Call it a day.
Yeah. Granted, the bookstore in the like civilian district.
Well,
like you're gonna level that city block. You guys want to do that in 2 games? Is this the plan?
It's
you know what? I wasn't thinking about this before, but I certainly am now. I'm not going to do it in 2 games. I'm going to do it in every game.
We're going to have to blow up a city block in all of them, huh?
Right.
Secret mission.
It's mandatory.
Yeah. That's just my move now.
It's like a fucking... This is your, like, secret mission in, like, a board game.
Right.
Yeah, we're all cooperative, but you mainly want to blow up a city block.
Yeah, I'm never playing Monopoly with Adam again. Fuck that.
Yeah, he had a secret
There goes the boardwalk.
He there is no secret objective in Monopoly, but he kind of just decided that he blows up the city block, and that's kind of his whole thing now.
Adam committed terrorism on Baltic Avenue.
Oh, he fucked the utilities company so bad.
Dude, I slapped that lighter out of his hands like 17 times, and I turned around to get popcorn one fucking time, and half the board game was on fire. Do you know how quick that fake money goes up in flames? Are you kidding me?
It's just all chemical. Just
There's scorch marks all over the fucking living room. Somehow he's managed to only like burn scar some of the specific squares and not the whole board.
Oh, you know what the fun though that is? That's now like apocalyptic Monopoly.
Yeah,
Right.
I was gonna say this sounds like a much better version of Monopoly.
Wasteland
I-
Monopoly.
I just created Monopoly Legacy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. So Willow
my
and
God.
I ages ago bought Risk Legacy
Yeah. Oh
with
no.
some of her friends
Oh,
who are fucking like they've been playing Risk together
hell
for
yeah.
years and years. So we get this Risk Legacy and we make it like every thing that is done on that board is a pure petty and vindictive move, to the point where we got like 8 games into playing that game before the game was factually unplayable. The whole map was eating people with the radiation. Like no one could survive anywhere. No one could hold a territory because
Yeah.
everything had its fucking nuts kicked off because like everything was lost any possibility of fortification. It was gnarly and so fun.
The fucking playthrough I did with my friends is I refused to play anybody but the bears, and the bears hailed from South Africa, where we were kept in a bubble and could be contained properly. But we got our hands on nukes first, so we like engaged in glorious warfare, and they are just in my head canon. Although they are people who ride bears, it was secretly the bears that were like the technologically evolved species and just needed these humans to do thumb shit. Like, okay, we need you to, like...
That's a
you
very
guys-
Cody
Yeah.
world building experience.
The deep lore is that I went into a battle that I was going to lose, which is also when my luck exponentially increases. I could start, especially in a game like fucking Risk, where you could just be like, nope, I win, nope, I win, nope, I
Yep.
win, and the few could stand against many. So I did something like that with a few of them, and then my last like parting gift was I launched a nuke like two things over into like mainland China. And just detonated, like the wasteland extended from mainland China all the way into like northern America, and just none of it could be used anymore. Just like half the northern, until the fucking mutants, who then became the bears' nemesis. We irradiated half the world's population. They're like the fucking bears. The real lore is that we rolled up with a catapult with a nuke in it that we found. And we just fired a catapult as far as we could. And the nuke just hit the ground sideways.
Oh my god.
Risk Legacy is fun.
It is very fun.
The aliens show up.
Okay. Hey, bud. You want to say hi? Okay, bye-bye.
He's like, I don't perform.
He comes in, looks at my map, stares very intently for a minute, and sprints out. Adam, you still here?
I am.
Doug, you still here?
Yes, I had to lay on my bed because my back hurt.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby.
But I'm up again. We're good. Verticality.
Oh, well, that's very considerate. You can
Crush.
you can lay down if you want to.
Oh no, that small time was good enough. I'm good now.
Okay. Sean? Ted?
I'm here.
Okay. Sean, you there? Oh, he said he was gonna be back. Well, we have to wait because he's in this next scene. So. Hey, man. So Tyler's game is going super well.
Uh-oh.
2 people are unconscious, 1 person is dead, and the other person is fled. Yeah.
That's a problem right there.
I did hear him
Also, the
earlier.
2 people who are unconscious and the dead person are in the possession of a hag.
I did hear him say verbatim earlier, I need to figure out what the fuck is happening.
Yeah. He called session like half an hour early, and I could practically hear him be like, no, don't leave us here. And he's like, you think I know what's gonna happen next?
Yeah, I think that's what I heard. I heard him go like, I need to fucking figure this out. So.
Ooh, there's a plan. Congratulations.
That's exciting. It's better to have a plan than not have a plan.
Yeah, and especially so soon after game concluded. Technically within game hours. Sean's still gone. Hey, sir. What's up? Bye. He's recently discovered that you can put blankets over your shoulders like capes.
Oh.
That's a big moment.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. I started doing that. I didn't stop doing that for...
Cody, go ahead and complete that for us, because we all know you're lying, because we know you haven't stopped doing that.
I was gonna say I do that, but I do it with a weighted blanket, which is very, very heavy.
That's a slightly harder fit.
Yeah, that's how you get your workouts in.
Yeah, I wear a weighted blanket, and that's why I'm jacked. So my parents caught COVID, and my mom's updating everybody via Facebook, and I couldn't care less.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, well, my sense of taste and smell are gone. I'm like, well, should have gotten the fucking vaccine.
Well, consequences.
It might be worth pointing out to her that people who have lost their sense of taste or smell who get the vaccine very often get that back. Because that is what happened to my mother. She got her sense of taste and smell back.
That is anecdotally very heartening to hear.
Yes.
So that may assist in getting them to get the fucking vaccine. And
interestingly, that means they probably didn't get the Delta variant.
Yeah. I actually
probably at least.
She got sick, and she was like, just so you know, I got sick, and I can't go back to work till I get a test. And I said, oh, that sucks. Well, it's a good thing I have the vaccine, because I've been hanging out with you all weekend. And she was like, yeah. And then I was like, yeah, it's all, yeah, and also, if I get it from you, my symptoms are going to be not as bad. And she's like, okay, all right. And then she's like... And then she calls me later, by the way, I tested positive. And I was like, oh, huh. Well, I really appreciate the fact that you've been hanging out with my family, my son, who's unvaccinated, and me and my boyfriend, who are vaccinated. Very, very happy that we've spent the past, 72 hours with you.
Am I remembering incorrectly? Aren't your parents active in the church?
That is correct.
And... Didn't the elders of the church just come in? Okay, I'm just checking.
Yes, they did.
That's why I was sort of confused.
Well, yeah, if you recall, they're very selective about the things that they care about.
Gotcha.
As you may remember, one of the things the church has said is be kind to your trans brothers and sisters. Oh. Call them by their names. They're preferred pronouns, and they have full.
In fairness, a lot of religious people follow that playbook.
Oh well, yeah, obviously, yeah.
Ooh.
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 Nice.
Sorry, I just want to join in.
Oh, Sean's back. Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay, so we have our necessary components to continue on. So Zashel and Krellick and Lucky, provided the information you are given to or by Yop, Vakaris, and Null, what is it you would like to do? Or is there anything you'd like to be doing?
I figured that we were going to be doing this at the same time, so I didn't know if we would have that information yet, but...
Telepathic bond, baby.
Oh yeah, good point. Good point. That actually sort of overrides almost entirely what my plan was, which was to head down to the docks with Krellick and Lucky, who both might have some have a better reception with the sort of sailing crew than we would. I'm not sure how many of these people who are sailing. I assume that not all of these people are going to be pirates. This is Seaton.
Yeah.
So.
In fact, not many pirates here.
Yeah, I didn't mean overtly though. I meant like how many of these people are sort of. What's the nice privateers? That's
the politically correct term.
Yeah. It's just sanctioned piracy.
Yeah, those are the ones that have like a piece of paper that says I can be a pirate, as opposed to a list that says I can be a pirate. Mostly it was just to try to do pretty much the same thing that Yop was doing and figure out where would be the points of vulnerability here. That the Brotherhood would be trying to, or not the Brotherhood, but, well, the Brotherhood, but specifically the princes during the attack on Seaton might be trying to exploit for, whether it's for landing their people, or just for causing general havoc. But it sort of sounds like, as we're walking around the docks, that that information is largely fed to us by the more successful team.
Well, you guys can actually, as I said to the other team, they're not allowed. They're not pointed at a lot of stuff directly. A lot of stuff is still kept secret from them. If you like, you can do some checks to see if you can navigate the space a little bit. Like they are going about it from the Brotherhood side. You could try to learn more about it from the Prince's side, if you'd like.
Absolutely.
Okay. This will require stealth. Literally.
It's a good thing you brought me along.
Oh boy, we are all so good at that.
Watch as I turn this blanket into a disguise.
Wow, where did he go?
It is... Oh no. Oh, never mind.
Max, I assume I get advantage on my stealth roll with my blanket, yes?
You assume incorrectly.
This is not good for any of us, so...
You see, the trick is, like, humans is always, like, round around the bellies, so I put a pillow here, right, makes it look like I got a belly.
Aha! She, like, lightly punches the feather pillow. Okay.
The only other thing that I... Like... Well, never mind. Silence would take 10 minutes for me to prepare, so...
You were all crossing the docks, and here you feel less seen than even in the Eastern Quarter, as there are a lot of travelers coming in on at the wharf. Very colorful individuals all around. And Lucky and Krellick can take you towards a particular little dive, which has a back room. Basically, Zashel, your stealth, that is not a very good roll. No. no. It's not a bad roll, it's just not a very good roll. Every time Krellick and Lucky are let through somewhere, there is effortful convincing to let you through as well. Not only are you kind of a suspicious individual to most humanoids, period, you also look like a goddamn narc compared to everyone else who might be here.
In the suit? What?
I need Krellick to roll me a persuasion check.
Yeah. Look, I swear, okay? Look, I know he's alright, okay? Persuasion?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. 15. He don't look it, right? But once I saw him bite the nose off someone, right? They just said the wrong thing and he was like, rah, got him.
Well, that's a lie.
I've never bitten someone's nose. I did kill a unicorn, but I've never bitten someone's nose.
Yeah. Killed a unicorn with cold blood.
I need... Well, actually, there's no more checks involved in this. Zashel, you are not allowed to proceed. You are left out in the main tap room of this little place. You see a number of guards who actually are off duty here, still fitted out in their uniforms, but not in proper posture and all. While Lucky and Krellick are admitted into the back, where there are a number of recognizable faces for the two of you. Old crewmates, other people who have been on who you've bumped into on shore leave and such. Folks you know here. So Krellick, what would you like to try to discover while you are here?
All right.
There's the telepathic bond.
Yeah, I planned on ditching these two, but I'm here now.
Well, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
Okay, like I'll schmooze a bit and like get a drink or two, and just kind of like lean. It's like a backroom bar kind of jam. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like lean against the bar and kind of look around at everybody, and then I'll just think to Zashel, yeah, you doing all right out there?
I'm sitting at the bar, yes.
Yeah, all right. Ain't nobody like messing with you. Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay. What is it that we're supposed to be doing again?
We're trying to figure out where the princes are going to be landing. Where they're making their move.
Yeah, okay. You want like I should like rough someone up?
However you need to proceed, I leave it up to the two of you. I will be out here just however you need to proceed.
Okay. Hey, do I see that orc that tries to stab me? Is he in here?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious. I'll like find, we know some of the people here. I'll buy around for some old salty dogs, swap some stories, tell them about a kraken, and I'll ask them like what are you guys doing in town, like, um I'm looking for work while I'm in here. Is there anything I can do?
Okay. Are you attempting to be deceptive with the point of like trying to find out if this is if the job that is if you are looking for the job which is going to be assisting princes when they arrive? Is that what you're trying to get to?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'll just lie. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was a lie either way. I just wanted to make sure I was getting, like, if you succeed in this deception check, if you'd be receiving the information you're looking for. So,
yeah.
Roll deception.
Okay. It's 6.
Okay. So enough people recognize you, and certainly you are known, and you've been to Monmerg. So it's not like nobody distrusts you, but nobody here offers you any assistance.
Yeah. Hey, that's all right. I got a gig, back in the marsh. I was just taking like a few weeks vacation, all that, just seeing what kind of trouble I can get up to, But, hey, anyone fancy, a round of dice?
Say dice?
Yeah.
Okay. You can get a couple people to play dice with you.
Yeah, play some dice.
Okay.
I'll yell at them about cheating.
Ironic you've got Lucky with you. But nope, you receive nothing.
Okay. After like a few rounds of dice, I'll just send back to Zashel. Yeah, so like, I don't think anyone here even knows anything.
Zashel, while you are out and alone, and again, like, very nicely dressed out here, a couple of the guards take some noticeable interest in you. And one of them eventually comes over to you and says, where are you from?
I'm actually from a little village just outside of here.
Oh.
Whatever the name of that village is.
I don't think you've named it.
I don't think it has a name. I think we have decided that there is no name for this village.
That sounds about right. Oh, there's folks of your kind around here?
No, not quite. Not like me, the Dragonborn.
Well, call me crazy, but can't see why that would mean you're from around there.
That's where I was raised.
And what brings you to Seaton?
Business. We have some. I will pull out one of my magically enchanted business cards. Ones that I create every 10 days with Illusory Script.
Hell yeah. I represent, I and my associates represent the Lighthouse franchise of Acquisitions Incorporated. We are here on business, but if there is ever anything that we can do for you or anyone you might know here, we do travel. We are known to take on
harder cases. We've dealt with a hag. We've dealt with some other horrible creatures. So,
could you make me a persuasion check?
Okay. I will not spend inspiration because I am out. So that is a 12.
This card gets turned over and over in her hands, and she says, "I don't think I've heard of this." And she flicks the card back at you.
He just sort of watches it fall for a second. We are a fairly new franchise. We've only been in operation for a few months. There's no reason you should have heard of us, although I'm sure you've heard of Acquisitions Incorporated.
Maybe I have. Would you mind coming with us?
Why exactly?
Just, we know sometimes there are folks of your kind with some influence over people's judgment. If you
Folks
wouldn't
of
mind.
My kind.
It's clearly becoming agitated the more you try to draw this out.
Kralik, Lucky, anytime you guys are done, I might need your assistance in a bit. I'm being carted off.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. No. Zasha will stand up. Zasha will dust himself off.
Do the rest of us hear this as well, or can you direct the telepathic bond?
I think we all hear it.
Okay,
good. Big shared bond.
You need a big distraction or a little one.
Over any distance, it doesn't really say. I don't know if a distraction is quite what I need, but I'm sure this will be fine.
I charge towards the door that's separating this thing. Whoever's at the door, I use them to break through it.
That does not work, but you do get through the door.
Okay. Well, I want to be in a fight with this person.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, that's happening very quickly. The two guards seem suddenly as if it is their civic duty to, while off duty, perform in some capacity, and go to break up this fight.
You cheating me, okay? I saw you roll them dice. I know you cheating.
What are you talking about? I was 10 feet away.
Suck him.
Ow!
I know it was you, Billy.
Who are you talking to? Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
Ossifers, I'm good. I'm glad you're here. This man's cheating me.
I'm the bouncer. Okay. What? And they begin pushing around a little bit and trying to get the two of you off each other and relax. Lucky works her way through and out of the room, and then just says in the bond, "I think we should go now."
That was very impressive work, Kralik.
I just turn and give you a wink before beginning to yell again about being cheated.
Once it becomes pretty apparent that there's some confusion and that maybe Krellick should be escorted home. Krellick is escorted back to the inn.
Excellent.
Anything else anyone needs to do this evening before you reconvene?
How late is it in the evening?
Evening.
If they just leave me at the inn, I want to see if Miss Marvel's still open.
I don't think they're that interested in making sure you stay at your inn. But yes, Mavis the Marvel is still, her shop is still open. The Marvelous Emporium.
The Marvelous Emporium. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm getting.
Okay. Anything else? Oh, Lucky tells Ashley, yeah, we didn't learn anything.
Well, that's unfortunate, but I guess my presence didn't exactly endear anyone to us, so my fault.
Well, fingers crossed that tomorrow will go better then, because if it's between you and Vicaris talking with the Duke, and the race thing plays any part in it, I think we're all fucked a little bit.
Yeah, I'm hoping the Duke is a little more reasonable than any of his constituents, because if not, this is going to be very problematic.
Yeah. I mean, I've never met the guy, but if the rest of the city is any indicator, I don't think this is going to be fun.
I don't think it's going to be fun either way. We are about to go tell a person who very clearly wants to be in charge that he is being played, possibly going to be killed, and will be made to look incredibly weak in front of the people that he wants to lead. There is literally nothing we're going to tell him that he's going to want to hear. So.
Yeah, when you tell him all of that, don't phrase it like that. She grins.
I better start figuring out how I'm gonna word this.
Are we all back together at the tavern?
You are now.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys have an opportunity to reconvene and share anything you need to share.
Have I made it back to the tavern as well?
You made it back first.
Okay, cool.
The first thing Yop's gonna do is order some ale and find as secluded a table as exists here, and take her ale over there and just start sketching out a rough map and locations and marking where there are barrels of powder and what potential targets are.
Cool. Cartographer can help you with that.
Yeah, fantastic.
Cool. All right. Anyone else?
That half-orc in here?
No. Burvish is gone forever.
Dang it. He owes me a drink.
Well, no, you told him he should buy you a drink.
Yeah. Try to stab me. Wait there.
Nervous Purvis the half-orc is no more.
Oh, God.
Sleep in the arms of an angel.
Oh, so, look, you know, all sort of things was like a bust, you know. They's all tight-lipped and ain't saying nothing. I don't even know if there's like enough sea princes even here, you know what I mean?
I think that's why the Scarlet Brotherhood is?
Yeah, that would make sense.
So, what, they got like, you know, a bunch of barrels of shit all over the place. I mean, how's we gonna like deal with it?
But I think a lot depends on how many people are loyal to the Duke. Presumably, when we share this information with him and let him know that we're here to help him maintain power, he'll marshal whatever forces are loyal to him to help roust some of this shit out.
Do you think maybe we like, you know, hit them all at once, you know?
We will definitely need some assistance to do that. There's not enough of us, and we can't even be sure that the Duke has enough people that he can trust. Although, well, we'll see tomorrow how well the Duke responds.
And if you look here, from what we've learned, there seems an awful lot of attention being paid to destroying the Marine barracks, which is a pretty strong indication that those are people that would be loyal to the Duke.
That's a good point.
The Marines are the special forces of the Crown. I don't know if that's ever come up yet, because you guys haven't had to deal a lot with the army in Saltmarsh at all so far. But yes, that is correct.
Yes, so... Go ahead, Kralik.
Oh, I mean, like, what if we blow it up when, like, no one's there?
Blow up the barracks?
Well, yeah, because then, like, I mean, no one would expect it. Like, and then no one is in there, so no one gets hurt.
Well, I do like where your head is at, Kralik, trying to prevent these people from getting hurt. But perhaps, given the fact that we've got this knowledge before the building has been blown up, maybe we could just stop it from being blown up.
Yeah, but that's not very fun.
Well, think about this.
Evacuate the building.
Yeah, what if we tell them there's like a fire, and then we set a fire?
Think about this, Kralik. If we prevent these particular buildings from blowing up, then we will have the material to blow things up. And we can have that fun at our own leisure.
Okay.
I mean, do you have anything against this particular Marine barracks building?
Well, these kind of dicks, so...
Yes, they are good. Dicks. They are dicks. Yeah.
I wasn't aware anybody knew the Marines.
Oh, I think we're just talking the town in general.
Oh, no, that's fair.
Well, I mean, a couple of us may have been on the other side of a cannon from the Marines before.
Oh dear.
Yeah, they's gonna like, you know, shoot first, never ask questions.
Yeah.
So it's like a professional rivalry type thing then. Okay. I'm just assuming that there wasn't a whole lot of questions from either side on the open seas, right?
Well, I mean, yeah. But, I mean...
I'm just trying to figure out if one of us walks into the Marine barracks like, hey, we think this place is going to be blown up. Are they just going to try to run us through on principle on And by principle,
Well-
I mean racist feelings like we seem to be getting from most of this town.
Well, if me and Krellick probably show up, then that's likely. But I don't know. I mean, lots of Marines that are enlisted aren't just human. I mean, the town may be picky, but the army isn't, you know?
Got it.
Will we blow up like half of it?
Why is blowing up part of it part of your solution?
I mean, it just seems like, I mean, it's right there, you know, we could, you know. I guess I'm the only one who thinks it's a good idea, okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
If it helps, I think it's a fun idea.
Alright,
Does
that's
not
two.
help.
Okay, I'll call a vote.
You don't get to call votes, and we're not doing that.
I mean, if we do vote, then, then it's decided.
This is a good point.
Okay, but there are things I get to decide as the decision is. And I am firmly writing blowing up Marines into the things that I am allowed to decide we are not doing. And we are not doing that.
Sounds like you are not confident that the team is on your side.
It's not a question of whether the team is on my side. This is a thing we're not doing because that's the thing we're trying to stop. So, I am fairly confident that given the way this conversation is gone, I'm pretty sure Null is a no, and Yop was already a no, and I'm a no. So, you know, even at that point, it's already a no. And I do have the authority to say that Lauren would definitely be against blowing up the Marine barracks. So that's 4. So boom, vote is done. It's a no. Didn't need to get out the voting kit.
Yes, that's very smart, Zashel, because if we don't take an official vote, then officially we don't know what we're going to do. And if we don't know what we're going to do, how are they going to know what we're going to do?
Yes, I also want it to be clear that for anybody listening to this, we did not actually have to call a formal vote to decide not to blow up the Marines in the capital town. Please remember, everybody here, this is the capital of the land in which we work. All right? Okay, good. Glad we had this talk. At some point, we are going to need to make sure that we can mobilize enough forces to defend Seaton from the Sea Princes. The Marines are almost certainly going to be our best bet, which is probably why the Princes are feeling the need to try to blow them up. And again, we're not going to do that job for them. So,
is the telepathic bond still in effect?
It can be
lasts for
renewed.
an hour, yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
I
But all of this is out loud because Zashel did want to make that point for the Whisper Charm.
Yeah.
I can't help but think, recall that you did not bring me up in determining which ways they would vote.
Nor me.
Indeed. Well,
I was going through the people who had already stated definitive opinions, so
This is like
you are
heresy.
correct. I did not
We
get
are
to you. I also did not get to Krellick, who we know was a yes vote, but I was pointing out that the no's had the majority, because I know...
Oh,
that
you know
opinion-
what I was thinking all the time. That's what you say.
No, I'm saying that you had already stated your interest in blowing up the Marine. Anyway, moving on to non-explosive topics.
consider you just said we will not be doing this, and you have circled back around to discuss it again.
To be fair, this is my fault, but I wanted to make it clear that I said the plan was a fun idea. I did not say it was a good idea. And I would like the rest of the team to be confident that I would not typically go around blowing things up because I have, as they say, grown.
You know, Zashel, perhaps at this point the easiest way to move on is just to take a vote.
We need to work on your technicalities, Vicaris.
I, for one, appreciate you, Vicaris, and what you have just said.
Anyway. We are still going to need to know, given what you all, and he gestures towards the disguise crew, have discovered earlier today about some of the targeted locations. This does. We should try to extrapolate on that and try to understand where the rest of the attack might come from. We're trying, as I said before, we want to make sure we have enough of a plan that we can put forth to, when we speak to the Duke. We're also trying to determine if we have enough, if Duke Merrick has enough forces to defend Seaton from the attack that's coming, or if we need to try to bolster those numbers.
From where would we bolster these numbers?
Well, I don't know how far the Shadowbreakers' forces are. There wouldn't be a lot of them, but I do know some individuals only a few hours from here who might be willing to defend Seaton.
Well, I mean, the basic things, right, is, the walls got to stay up. Cause do you know how hard it is to, get through walls?
We have had to deal with walls a few times, yes.
Yeah, it's real hard, But if they's up, then it's, pretty easy, So, as long as the walls are standing, then really it's, the harbour is, that fucker's wide open. So, you could just cram a bunch of shit in a boat and run it in and then blow it up.
Yes. And we know the princes are coming by water. I mean, I assume they're going to want to get away after they've done their thing. The bulk
I mean, if they take it all over, they don't got to go nowhere, so...
Well, I mean, presumably the king will bring his army back at some point, so...
Yeah, but then he's had to get through the walls, so...
But not if they blow them up.
Yeah, good call.
They will have already made the holes for him. Regardless, are there any points, given what you all have found, that we might have not gone through and carefully enough? I just want to make sure we are fully prepared when we speak to the Duke tomorrow. I don't anticipate that what we have to say is going to be well received. We do know that they are sort of intimidating or extorting him, so at the very least we don't have to convince him that they are a threat. That they seem to have made that point for us.
I originally got the locations of where they will be digging their explosives with the intent of sabotaging these areas.
I would imagine that although the Duke won't be happy to learn of this plot, surely he'll be happy that we are here offering assistance.
Hopefully, yes.
If he does not believe us. Null, produces essentially a blank contract. We have collateral in the form of, well, the franchise.
I don't take your meaning on the term collateral.
This would be an individual who violating the contract for would be problematic.
Do you mean credibility? Or
As in the ongoing existence of a franchise, perhaps. If we were to take a contract and not fulfill it.
Yeah, I think he's talking like his NT, you know.
Yeah, Noel just shrug. If we enlist ourselves to a contract and agree with him, then theoretically we can be hired to assist with this matter.
I mean,
the franchise gives him God damn, I just lost it. Never mind. The security of our word.
Indeed.
What if he's got like a grand vizier, right? That like he's undercover for the brothers, right?
And then I am assuming that is the case, that they have somebody watching.
Almost certainly.
Oh, okay. You've already been, yeah, obviously, you're thinking of it.
No. I mean, yes, it is a good thought, but go ahead and finish what you were saying.
No, look, well, we present all this, and then, they, like, go tell whoever that, we's here, and then, it's the end of it.
True.
I think we just put it all on the line, right? It's the big bet, Yeah. I mean, you got your thing here with all the things, right? We just show it all and say this is what it is.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. That is basically what we're going to have to do. And hope that if his handler, if the person watching him for the Brotherhood is there, that he's willing to move against them in that moment to secure Seaton.
What if we go to kill the Duke?
He wouldn't be the first person we killed. Nor the last, likely.
A lot of paperwork.
I don't know why it would come to that.
Well, he's use traitors, you put them in chains, look, I ain't going back in a dungeon again.
Yeah, if that happens, we should definitely endeavor to flee, because even if we do defeat the Duke, that... I don't even know what that's in response to. Point is, if the Duke turns on us, then we need to just leave. There is going to be very little that we can do directly, and even if what is killing the Duke get us at that point? We're going to be wanted by all of the Marines. We'll be wanted by the King when he gets back.
That's why we should blow up the Marine thing first, right? Safety.
See, this is why I said we should have a vote, so it can be formally done, so Krellick can stop suggesting this course of action.
He will not stop suggesting it after a formal vote.
Okay, it sounds like we have not... that we have no real further ideas on definitively planning the defenses of Seaton. We have the list of places that you have uncovered.
Yes, well, I don't think planning the defenses of Seaton is our responsibility. Our responsibility is convincing the Duke.
That's what I meant. That's what I was referring to when I said defense of Seaton.
Gotcha. I do have another idea about that conversation based on our assumption, which I think is a good one, that there will be a spy for the Scarlet Brotherhood embedded within the Duke's higher circle. Might it be worth, in this conversation, bringing up that both Wolfgang Marr and Von Kaplan are members of the Scarlet Brotherhood who, along with some of their compatriots, gave us this information when pressed, and therefore potentially sowing some discord within the Brotherhood when that information gets back to whomever is leading the charge through the person we're presuming is a spy.
That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. We'll make sure that that is presented. Do we have some way to track that individual? I mean, presumably we can figure out who the...
No, I have no idea of knowing who it is. I don't know if anyone else has magics that might be able to help us determine that.
Wait, what if, like, okay, we saying all this stuff. Why don't we just, lock all the doors and all that and say no one comes and goes till it's all sorted? Like, Kent Waters does magic, so you have to say who you is and what you are, or whatever.
I don't know that spell. Lauren, I believe, is the one who's done it for us before. But that is definitely a possibility, yes. I guess if there is nothing else, we should retire and prepare for tomorrow.
I think we got a good plan.
I concur.
Any of those names again there, Yop?
Wolfgang Marr and Von Kaplan.
Solid.
And somebody Kaplan.
Vaughn.
I've already forgotten.
Yeah. Sell those two out.
Names are not my strong suit.
Wolfgang Marr is a kick-ass name.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
These are names I came up with a very, very long time ago. Before I met any of you. Well, I knew Sean. Okay. You all can take a long rest and be prepared to go to seek the Duke tomorrow. I regret asking this, but is there anything that needs to be done before you do that?
If I could just take 20 minutes to RP with Sean.
I actually was, as we're like, at the table, I'm sure we finished like talking about work and, maybe have a drink or two, I want to toss the magic cutlery to Vicaris.
No,
I bought it for you.
Just hucks it at you violently.
I don't know what it does, but she said it was all magic. I thought you might like it.
What does it look like?
They're all like brass flatware that clean themselves.
Okay, so since I don't know what they are, I'm going to shake it, hit it against the table, put my tongue on it. I don't have to check knots or identify. I'll just be in the corner fucking with it, trying to see what it does.
Maybe them ones let you eat things,
I wonder if it protects me from poison.
Yeah, they gotta.
Yeah, no, all they do is clean themselves.
I really wish something was poisonous around, because he would absolutely take a drink. Put it in a spoon.
Fight Zashel.
Wait, what? Hold up. I'm sorry. I was distracted doing long rest stuff and then heard my name in regards to cutlery. So,
Nah.
Don't worry about it. We're moving on.
I mean, I'm just going to hear it in the recording. So,
I do want to, I guess, like later. I'm assuming Yop and I are sharing a room, and like when we're in the room. I just want to say to Yop, like, hey, you feel alright about everything tomorrow? You think it's gonna go alright?
Yes, I think it's going to go quite well. I mean, certainly the Duke is not going to be happy to learn that people are plotting against him, but to know exactly, well, not precisely exactly, but to know a large portion of what that plot is before it's executed, and have people with our abilities show up saying that they are here to help prevent it from being successful, I think our conversation will go quite well.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Between like you and Vic and Zesh, you guys got it all pretty well handled. We wouldn't even know all this if it wasn't for you.
Well, I appreciate that, but we work very well together as a team, and we all do our part. And I am sure, as Cecil has explained, that you played a very big part in making sure that he was not detained, and that you all were able to join us back at the inn this evening.
Yeah, that Billy owes me money. I got you something.
Oh, really? How sweet.
I'll pull out a little wrapped box. Like gift wrapped box.
Yop will take the box and daintily remove the wrapping to reveal.
Sean?
It's a ring with I think it's like a square brass thing and something stamped on it.
Oh, well, that's very, very kind of you, Krellick. It's very sweet. Yes, I just give me 10 minutes to make sure we don't have the type of problem we had with the material from Captain Zendros.
Yeah. I saw, you was looking at it, and, I thought, well, I thought you would just want it.
Well, I was very interested in it, but between you and me, I thought Mavis was being a bit shifty when she wouldn't really explain what it did. It made me quite nervous, and I wasn't particularly interested in doing business with her at that point. But now that we have obtained it, and you were so kind to purchase it for me, I can have the time to take a look and investigate and make sure that there's nothing nefarious about it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's all good, The pillow is real nice, I got one for you, one for me, right? I got you blanket and all that,
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Make a very nice lean-to that I can hide under when I go into my shell.
Yeah, it makes a good disguise, too.
Oh, really? How wonderful. So when I cast Identify on this thing, what do I find?
It's a ring of mind shielding.
Okay, very nice. Oh, lovely. Thank you so much, Krellick. I'm very pleased with it.
Yeah, well, only the best for you.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to take an hour right now so that I can start wearing it.
Yeah. You put it on, right? And then I'll try to, send you, mind beams or whatever.
Wonderful. That will be an excellent way to become accustomed to its power.
Yeah. Careful,
and yup, as soon as you stop hearing Krellick's mind beams coming into your brain, then you know that it's working.
Right.
Alright. Everyone can pack up their things and prepare all that you need, and head up to the northwestern quarter of the citadel, which is, for all intents and purposes, a fortified fortress. It is a manor house that is well kept and guarded. You see broad and heavy, very strong soldiers are stationed here. Several noblemen of various households very obviously have place here within the inner city. And at the highest point of the very small hill that this part of the town is set on, there is the Duke's Manor House.
Couple things just before we go in. I will put a hand on Zassel's shoulder and just say, listen, I know you're aware of this, but I just wanted to say, this is a very important conversation that we're going to have and that you are going to lead, but I'm sure you are going to do a wonderful job. Hopefully, this might give you just a little bit of help. And I am going to cast Enhance Ability to give him advantage on charisma checks, which I think is, which one is it? Eagle, I think it is?
Eagle Splendor.
Yeah. And then on myself, just for shits and giggles, I am going to cast See Invisibility.
Is that one? That one's not concentration, correct?
I don't think either of them are concentration.
Oh, Enhance Ability definitely
Ability
is.
is, yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, great.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yep. All right.
All right.
Great.
Sean in chat, but just to say it explicitly, everybody does get, after the long rest, 10 temporary hit points. This does include Lucky, since Lauren's not here. I get 16, and I will recreate the telepathic bond.
Okay.
When we are at a place where like people can't see us, and this may be like hand wave before we even left in particular, but
It'll have to be, yeah.
Yeah, Vicaris will turn to everyone and say, right, any preferences on what we all should look like, or rather, what you should look like? And I'm casting Seeming on all of us, so racism isn't a problem anymore.
Oh.
And then we can hand wave like what you guys want to look like.
I think I'll just say, does anyone actively choose to refuse seeming?
No.
Yeah.
God, Zashel has such a problem with this, but I will not.
Make me big.
Zashel's appearance literally is, what if Zashel was human? Like, his hair is the same, his everything else is the same. He just loses the scales, his skin becomes a normal color, his eyes are normal eyes.
Does Vicaris also disguise himself?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
All right. So I imagine that like him and Vicaris and Lucky all end up basically looking essentially like palette swapped versions of themselves.
Actually, no. Every time Vicaris casts something like this on himself, he never looks the same.
Okay. All right. Great.
And oftentimes, he's not the same gender. Like today.
Okay. All right. Great.
Okay, this is an illusion. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Null definitely just looks like palette swapped. No fur, normal nose, normal ears.
Short.
Yeah, only still tall as fuck. Can't get that short.
Okay. Then you all march up to the manor house, an older building by its architecture, made to stay in appearances new. Imported plants, non-indigenous flora kept in the yard. It is almost like it has been cut from a different cloth and stitched into the fabric of this town. Nearly seamlessly. And again, there are a number of guards on the streets within the manor. You present your letter of introduction, and are brought with some patience and waiting, and some whispered organization, into an audience hall that is draped in the green banners of Seaton and is nearly an empty space. It is modestly larger than that of the council hall in Saltmarsh. This appears to be still somewhat a private audience chamber after a fashion. It is, after all, within the Duke's own home. You are brought in and watched with guards. You are asked to remove all foci and weaponry at the door.
You wrote.
You will not be allowed entrance armed.
I did, like, unless somebody specifically stated they wanted to leave it, I would have hidden everyone's weapon with the illusion.
That's fair. Some of this is going to be too cumbersome still.
Okay, fair enough.
Like Krellick's shell that is as big as he is.
Fair enough.
And Yop's tower shield, which is as big as she is.
Would they take my, I guess, amulet?
They are requesting foci. They are also not stupid.
Zashel doesn't have any weapons.
Well,
you have daggers.
I don't, actually. I'm out of daggers. I gave my last dagger to Krellick to cut Hamir's throat. That was my last dagger.
Here you go.
So I have no weapons to hand over. Are they eyeballing my reliquary, which is a material component, but it's not a focus?
Probably, considering your focus are a pair of gloves, which would just yours are the only ones I can really see possibly evading their detection because it's gloves. Does that make sense?
Then
like an amulet is a holy symbol, a reliquary is a holy symbol.
Yeah.
Vicaris has wands, like most of you have what could be identified as a focus, holy or otherwise.
Okay, couple questions for Yop. Yop will give up the shield, right? Any chance that the all-purpose tool will evade detection and just look like another tool? And more importantly, Yop's not leaving Betty out in the lobby.
Betty can come. Betty does not appear to be a weapon, neither does the all-purpose tool.
Great.
That Zashel will hand over the very, very fancy reliquary. It's worth a lot of money.
They're not going to go ahead and pawn them while you guys are in the other room.
I mean, this reliquary is worth more than they will probably make in their lives. So, Zashel is aware of that.
Vicaris will hand over 3 separate ones.
You do the whole, dagger reveal, one in your boot, one behind your back.
But it's all wands.
It's all wands.
And then when he puts the wand of smiles down... Careful with that one. I try to do that one the most.
Noah has a long and hard time giving over the amulet. A lot of just staring at it.
Sweating.
A lot of staring at them. A lot of weighing out the paperwork. Clearly the gears are going, oh, shit. I finally give it over.
I hand them the great axe, hand axes, a couple other random sharp objects I have on me, and I hold tight to the large shell, my father's shell.
They ask for it.
I growl at them.
You will not be permitted entrance.
You know, Krellick, if you want to stay out here and guard all of our stuff, that might not be the worst idea.
What happens, what if something goes wrong?
We begin to shout.
Yeah, we have ways of contacting you, obviously.
I begin to kind of hand the shell towards them.
I understand, not quite at the same level, how hard it is to get rid of something so personally, not get rid of, but to hand over something so personally valuable. But
I just tell the whoever the guard that's taking it, I'll just say to him, "This me dead show."
You're in an illusion to look like a person.
Oh, I told him to make me big. Just make me big.
Okay.
Bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if I'm a big turtle person. These people suck. I'm a big turtle man.
Okay. Okay.
I'll just tell him, "This me dead show. If he's not back here, I'll find you."
All right. Everything is collected, locked away. There are guards posted. You are allowed admittance into the audience chamber, where you wait a few minutes before a gentleman in heavy furred winter robes, with cropped dark hair, kind of warm in his appearance, a beard coming in, and someone who appears to be quite young but has seen a lot is brought. It leads the way with a few guards tailing to a very large desk that sits on top of a very small dais in the center of the room. You are all obliged to bow as the Duke sits and retrieves some parchment, reads over the letter of introduction, and looks at all of you with a furrowed brow and says, "I understand you have some information you'd like to share. And we are going to have to call it there. And we'll get right into that moment next week."